The driver of a semi-truck who is accused of killing 3 people in a crash is pleading not guilty. This is a tragic case, but it's drawing particular attention from right-wing media, not because of who the victims of the crash were, but because of who the driver of the truck was. The driver's name is Jashanpreet Singh. The Department of Homeland Security says he entered the country illegally from India. This crash happened in California, but the Trump administration is pairing this crash with one that happened in Florida in August. The government says the truck driver in that crash was also in the country illegally. Just last month, the Transportation Department put restrictions on commercial driver's licenses for people who were non-citizens. And after this week's crash in California, the rhetoric, it's picking back up.
These very foreign drivers with these kind of licenses that don't just drive the big rig or the tanker, they're also driving school buses, getting behind the wheel, taking kids to and from school, and there's no certainty that they actually have the skills to drive those vehicles. They understand the English language to stay safe when they're on the roadway. So a whole bunch of issues at play.
Bhupinder Kaur is Director of Operations for UNITEDSIKHS. Members of her family are truck drivers, and she's concerned about the rhetoric. Bhupinder, thank you for being on. Let me start here by just saying Jashanpreet Singh is innocent until proven guilty, but there's not a whole lot of sympathy for someone, regardless of their status in this country, who is accused of driving under the influence and killing innocent people. But you've spoken about the unequal treatment of immigrant drivers in situations like this. What do you see?
Absolutely. So first, I want to apologize, to any of the community who have been hurt by this terrible tragedy. Our hearts go out to the families that are affected, and we want the community to know that this incident that happened doesn't reflect the entire community.
And Bhupinder, independent of legal status, what's the residual impact on the Sikh trucker community? And again, people who had nothing to do with this crash.
Absolutely. The community is obviously shaken because, just because of the incidents that happened with this, these few instances that it's being painted that the entire community is, agreeing with what happened, and but that's not the case. Sikh, people are known to be humanitarians, and we're always in service, and we praying for the well-being of others. So when we are marginalized and put into this particular box, it's very disturbing.
Let me ask you about the issue of undocumented immigrants being issued driver's licenses. As you know, it's a controversial topic, and there are some who are saying there is no way that a person who is undocumented in this country illegally, pick your rhetoric there, should be allowed to have a driver's license, much less a commercial driver's license. And to those people, you say what?
Well, basically, the 5th and 14th Amendments guarantees protections for everyone. And in our America, that's what we believe, is that we all have the, same rights as any other, U.S. soil-born person, is that we all believe in, the pursuit of happiness and life and liberty. So we believe that justice should be equal throughout, the whole spectrum.
Well, the administration would say there's no constitutional right to a driver's license.
Well, I mean, I think that will be figured out in the courts.
Okay. A few weeks ago, the Department of Transportation issued a ban on new CDLs to people who are not in the country legally. The Secretary Sean Duffy, says that the 3 killed in California would be alive today if the governor had complied with that directive. What's the impact of that change of not allowing commercial driver's licenses to the Sikh community? Because some quick reading shows that there is a large number of Sikh truck drivers across the country, especially on the West Coast.
Well, absolutely. United Sikhs and just the community as a whole, we always want to find a way forward. We want to know that, these are all truck drivers that are trying to provide for their families. At the end of the day, we all want to come home to our own families. We want to be able to live the American dream just as any other person living in America. And, I think all of the truck drivers that I've spoken to are remaining committed to safety. They all want safe driving conditions. They want to make sure that everyone is being treated fairly across the board. And just because, wearing a turban or having a beard doesn't mean that, someone is uneducated or undeserving of these protections. I think it's really important to remember that.
Bhupinder Kaur, I thank you for the conversation.